Okay, so for number one, as educators, we will have so many different students with all different backgrounds and different needs. So it's very important that all students know that their teacher cares about them. All students deserve to feel as if their teacher cares about them and will do whatever it takes for them to succeed. An example of this is something that you can use with all students is nonverbal signs. Not many students may need them. You can also use words in the classroom, but nonverbal signs may be used for students who actually need them. But nonverbal signs allow for the teacher and students to communicate with each other discreetly, quickly, and quietly. You can also use a checklist, the accommodation checklist. This is specifically for teachers to make sure they are accommodating students with disabilities correctly, and under each classification where the student may be struggling, it gives you a list of accommodations for that student. You can also use differentiated instruction. This allows for the lower skilled students, ones who may be struggling, and then your gifted students and even all in between for their needs to be met. One of my teachers always says make sure you're putting it on the lowest level of the shelf so all students can reach. You also need to get to know your students individually and find out what they need, because everyone's needs are going to be different. And once you get to know your student, you can find out what is best for them. So in the shared reading video, how would I modify this activity for students who have a reading level below that grade level? The teacher did a really good job in this video, so I kind of struggled, but I decided that popcorn reading might be helpful. That way not every student is having to read together aloud after the teacher. If they're struggling, each student can have one word to focus on and go around the classroom doing popcorn reading instead of everyone reading together. And then an accommodation from this activity I pulled from the accommodation checklist is that if a student is behind on their reading level and needs an accommodation, I would choose to give the student a hard copy of the important vocabulary and the meaning of the words, higher level vocabulary words they may not know, like at that grade level. That way they can have this copy with them at all times. And then as a group before the reading, I would point out the vocabulary as well to the students in the book and tell them what that word means. That way the student who's below grade level's needs are being met, and in case anyone else in the classroom who may not know a certain word isn't being left out, and everyone's needs are being met by doing this one small thing.